Hello everybody, this is Dee and welcome to my channel, Dee versus Retirement. Thank you for joining me today. If you're one of those coming back from last week's video that I published on why I took my Social Security at 62, welcome back. For those who subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. If you have come to this to my videos primarily for this type of content, I will be publishing this type of content on Thursdays. My channel started a few years ago as Dee Plans and Budgets, and was primarily budgeting content. I'm still doing a lot of that budgeting content, but I rebranded to Dee versus Retirement because I wanted to start talking more about stuff like this. So welcome. Today is one of those conversations about things that affect retired people, older people. This subject today could actually affect young people, but I know because of a lot of the videos that I watch that a lot of people that retired before the age of 65 are getting their insurance through the healthcare exchange. Therefore, I wanted to talk to you today about that. I debated making this video because I don't want to get political in the video, and I would appreciate if you don't get political in the comments because this is not about politics. This is about me and what I did because of the situation that we're in. I want to start by saying that I always knew the enhanced subsidies were going to be going away at the end of this year. It actually made an impact on the insurance that I chose last year and why, but I knew they were going to be going away. So I had been researching and thinking about this long before the government shut down. So I'll talk a little bit later about those subsidies and the enhancements and such, but basically I just want to let you know that I saw this coming and I was prepared for it. Now, last year, towards the end of the year, I was getting some testing done and some stuff done, and not life-threatening, but there was a small chance that I may need some extra care in the year of 2025. I'm happy to report that I did not need that extra care, that everything was fine. But at the time that open enrollment was, which is in November, I had to make a decision on what healthcare plan that I wanted. And so at the time, because there were still enhanced subsidies, and I knew there was, I decided I would go for a higher level plan, what they call a gold plan, and I'll talk about metal levels later, but I decided to go for a gold plan. And also I wanted to make sure at the time I could keep my doctor because the year before that there had been a big mess up and I lost my doctor for part of the year. It was just a big, huge problem. And so I wanted to make sure I could keep my doctor last year. Therefore, I decided to go for a higher level plan, and it was a lot more expensive. It cost me a lot more out of pocket, and it was a lot more expensive overall. Now, because I knew that the subsidies were going to expire, I pretty much knew I probably was not going to keep the plan that I was this year. When I received the notification from my healthcare that my premium was going to go up 53%, I was not surprised. Right? Healthcare uses any excuse they can at any time to raise your premiums, and they said that due to the expiring subsidy enhancements, that they were predicting people would be leaving their insurance program, and therefore they raised the rates. I was prepared that my rates were going to go up anyhow because I knew my enhancements were expiring. I wasn't prepared for a 53% increase. However, I knew I had options. Before I talk about those options, let's talk about subsidies and enhanced subsidies. When the original Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, HealthCare.gov, Marketplace, whatever you want to call it, when it was first passed, there was a whole lot of stuff in it, but one of the things it did was provide a marketplace for people to buy insurance when they didn't have insurance offered through their employer. And you could buy this insurance just outright, or if you were at a certain income level, you would be able to qualify for a subsidy. That income level was from poverty level to up to 400% of the poverty level. I am well within that range, and so I didn't always get Obamacare from the day it started, but once I started on affordable health care, I was able to get a subsidy because of my income level. The amounts for this year for a single person, that poverty to 400% of poverty is going to be $15,650 to $62,600 if you are single, $32,150 to $128,600 if you are married up to a family of 4. I know I just got this by searching the internet. I'll leave a link to the article that I found. And I want you to get from this, like I'm getting this information from the internet. I am not a professional. I cannot advise you on this. What I do know is when I first got into the marketplace insurance, I did so with an insurance agent. Insurance agents actually broker policies on the healthcare exchange, even if you get a subsidy. So if you are thinking you need this, or if you're thinking you need help with this, just Google a local insurance agent who works with healthcare marketplace insurance, and they can help you. And the insurance company is the one who pays them. Don't depend on people like me for advice. This channel is about telling you my stories and telling you how I handle things that come up in my daily life. I am not a professional on insurance. Go find one. They are going to be a very valuable source to you. So in a nutshell, those subsidies at poverty level to 400% of poverty level was the original amount in the Affordable Care Act. Now, during COVID, they decided that they wanted to make insurance even more affordable to people, and also to make it affordable to people that were outside those income levels. And I don't want to get into all of that, but when they talk about expiring subsidies, the original Obamacare subsidies are not going away. They will continue to be the 1 to 400% of poverty level, but the enhanced ones are going away, which means that if you make above those dollars that I just quoted, you will no longer qualify for a subsidy. You can still buy your insurance from the marketplace, but you will not qualify for a subsidy. Again, I knew this was coming. I knew that this was something I was going to face, and I was prepared for it. Again, I don't make over the 400% of poverty level, so I knew I wouldn't lose the base subsidy. But they did do a few other things in there, which gets really complicated because it's percents of insurance and such. Either way, I knew I was going to have to make changes this year, and so I had prepared for it. When you pick your insurance through the marketplace, you have a choice of different metal levels, and I'm going to leave a link to I think it's right from HealthCare.gov. I'm going to leave it in the comments so you can go in and look at those. But basically, in a nutshell, you have a bronze, a silver, and a gold plan. Bronze is your lowest, silver is your medium, and gold is your highest level. And a very, very basic understanding of that is bronze is probably going to have a lower premium with higher deductibles and higher out-of-pocket expenses. Every plan on the marketplace has to provide the same list of coverages, so it's going to have the same minimum coverage or it can't be on the marketplace. But what really makes a difference is your premium, is your deductibles, your out-of-pocket cost, your max out-of-pocket cost, and then, of course, all those other little nuanced things like copays and if there's copays and that kind of stuff. Now, in the past, I had always chose a bronze plan because I'm healthy. I don't even go to the doctor once a year. And so buying coverage that covers extra doctor care and keeps my out-of-pocket low for, regular exams or whatever, I don't need that. I basically need something that's going to cover me if I have a major expense, like I have to have heart surgery and it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. I need something that can cover me for that. And that, for me, is a bronze plan. Again, look into that article that I'm going to link, and it might help you make some decisions about what you might like. For me, a bronze plan is all that I need, and so I knew that I was going to go back to a bronze plan this year, and that would help me counteract the cost of the increasing premiums. One of the things I do before I go on and sign up for my healthcare is I find a calculator. I'm going to link one of those too, and it is going to let me know what I can expect for my subsidy. And that lets me know how that fits into my budget and how much money I'm going to need. And so I can predetermine the budget that I would like to spend on my healthcare, because even in a bronze or a silver or a gold level, because of all the other nuanced things, there's different price points available. For a bronze, with certain companies, I could get a bronze level for $0. But I wanted to keep my insurance company, which is Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I wanted to keep my doctor. And so there were certain plans that I wanted to get, and they were the bronze level, but all those things factor into the cost of them. And because I had done the calculator, I knew how much I wanted to spend and how much I could expect to get in a subsidy. What I ended up doing was I chose a bronze level, and even though my last year's premium was going to increase 53%, I ended up lowering my premium by $150 per month. I know that I am fortunate. I am fortunate because I am healthy and I don't use regular doctor care, which allows me to have this less expensive insurance plan. I'm also fortunate that I can afford the max out of pocket for these plans. My max out of pocket is $10,500. What that means is if I have not even a major illness, let's say I have an emergency room visit that doesn't end in a hospitalization or whatever, it's a $4,000 or $5,000 bill. I'm going to have to pay that whole entire $4,000 or $5,000 bill because they're not going to pay the plan that I chose. They're going to pay very, very limited things until I reach that $10,500 out of pocket cost. So if you are using medical services on a regular basis, this may not be the plan for you. Again, find that professional. They're going to help you find that plan. Anyhow, so I ended up choosing a bronze plan for me, which actually ended up saving me $150 in a premium. Again, I knew this was going to happen because last year I chose an expensive plan because of my health situation at the time, or what I thought might be my health situation at the time. And I pretty much knew that I was going to be going back to a bronze plan when those enhanced premiums dropped off, because I predicted that there would be a rise and increase in insurance rates. And you just kind of know. And I also only chose that increased coverage because of those concerns I had for last year, and those concerns are gone. So the reason I wanted to do this video with you was because there's all this talk and hype, and I know that they're purposely getting people hyped up by saying things, and this is the media I'm saying, by saying things like 173% increase. Well, you're not going to get 173% increase, most likely, unless you're above those income levels. And we always knew those enhancements were going to go away. If they vote to extend them, that will be fine. If they don't vote to extend them, that will be fine. I have no control of that. But I just wanted to publish this video because I don't want people to panic. I don't want people fearing they're not going to be able to eat next year, because you have options. If you're currently on healthcare, from HealthCare.gov, the exchange, Affordable Care Act, if you're getting a subsidy or not, you know how to go in and fill out your stuff. Go in and fill out your stuff and see what happens. That's right, but that's not going to hurt. Go in, see what's going to happen to your premiums, and see if you can afford it. And then if you cannot afford the plan you want, then start looking at a different plan and seeing what you're willing to settle for. I hope this helps. This has been a really difficult subject to tackle without trying to get political and talk about some of these things. Not even without me trying to get political, but without trying to, spur emotion with people. But I thought it was important to publish this video because I wasn't panicked when I got that increase. I knew it was coming, and I knew I had options. And what I want to encourage you to do is, if you are facing this and you don't know what to do, go out and find a professional. Don't use my video as advice as to what you do. Use my video to let you know that you have options. I found options. You can find options. Find a professional. Call HealthCare.gov. They will help you. Have people help you work through this process. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.